Yeah, can you send me an invite?
Ooh, it's raining.
23 rounds is when we started this season a long, long time ago. And we're about to send it off here for the season finale of Season 7 for Breakout Racing League. And we're here at the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix. The Emilia Romagna circuit, then, 19 corners that make up this historic track. And it's played host to many interesting action, to put it simply. And, well, we could definitely get some more of that. And considering how the qualifying is, well, we're definitely in for a bit of a treat. Now, it's the season finale. As I said, it's been one heck of a season. And, well, I'm kind of sad that it's going to go away. But, you know, every season has to end at some point. Every story has an ending. And this is going to be its ending. My name is Miniko, and alongside me is Moo this time around. Now, Moo, it's the final race of the season. As much as it's been a long season, how do you feel? Like, how do you think the season has gone? And, well, what are your thoughts? Hello?
Yeah, hi. I think it's gonna be, well, it's been a good season, very chaotic, but I think as the season's gone on, level's gotten a lot higher, and I think the standards have improved a lot, and you've kind of seen the change at the top of the quickest drivers.
Yeah, you've definitely seen quite a bit of a change, and, well, one thing's for sure that didn't change is that, obviously, the championship standings for the championship winner being Phantom, who isn't here today, surprisingly, but, you know, he doesn't have to show up. But that has definitely hasn't changed, but one thing that could possibly change here tonight can be the battle for P2 between James B and Bald Guy. 16 points separate those two drivers, so Bald Guy would have to finish at least second, and James B out of the points if he wants to grab that second place finish in the standings. It's a bit of a tall ask, but it could very much happen. Then we got the amazing battle for P4, and it's Slayer leading by 5 points, just ahead of the man we're on board with, Johan Laura.
The other way around.
167. Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry. Johan Laura in P4 with 167, and in Slayer with 162. Then further back, we've got another exciting battle for P6. Valkyrie, Shredder, Slow and Steady, and Redeemer, I think? No, I think Redeemer's just a little bit outside of it. But it's between Valkyrie, Shredder, and Slow and Steady for that battle. But by the looks of it,
No,
I
Redeemer.
don't think
Redeemer can still get P6.
yeah, he could definitely get P6. Maybe even, well, not maybe even. What am I saying? But definitely P6 for sure. One thing for sure is that looks like Valkyrie, Shredder aren't here. So Slow and Steady is a little bit at an advantage for that. And then rounding off the top 10 is, of course, Frizy with 101 points. Constructors Championship, that was also sealed. Alfa Romeo got it last week they got it with only one car because Phantom DNF'd out of that race. Redeemer finished P4. Haas in second place ahead of Ferrari. There's a bit of a battle, though, going on for P3 in the championship between Ferrari, Alpine, and AlphaTauri. And we know the drivers that they have, obviously, with Ferrari, with Bald Guy and Fluky. Alpine having Slayer and DTF with Days. And AlphaTauri with Father Corn and James B. That could possibly change a little bit tonight. We have also got a little bit of a battle for P6 in the championship between McLaren and Red Bull. Then you got Mercedes in P8, Williams P9, and Aston Martin with a lowly 7 points in this championship. It's not the season that they definitely want to remember. But hopefully they can end on a high. And we'll just see what happens here tonight.
Already crashed.
Oh, that's at the exit of the final corner.
That's an interesting spot.
Trying to get a look, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. But yeah, that's already the first retirement. He didn't set a lap time, so that is definitely not going to help him. Next person to cross the line is going to be the Mercedes of Butters. Butters, in which as of recently has picked up quite a few points paying positions. And let's see if he can do it here tonight at the final race and the season on a high, as does everyone else. Where does he put that Mercedes? He goes up to P3. So far, a decent lap. And I'm being told that is going to be a dry race. So strategy could be a little bit interesting here tonight.
Yeah, it will be very interesting if people want to start on the softs or start on the mediums. I don't think the hards are very viable to start on. But I think the strategy will be a big play here, seeing as you have free tire choice.
And obviously with the chaos, that is known as Tier 4.
Yeah.
Obviously with their threat, underlooming threat of safety cars. Definitely not out of the question. But one thing's for sure is that it hasn't dampened anybody's spirits, and they still think they could go for pretty much everything. No matter what is thrown at them. Right now, Johan Laura wants to get P4 in the championship ahead of Slayer. That's all to play for there, because remember, only 5 points separate the two. So we'll definitely have to watch out for those two, in which they are on the front row. So make things even better, make things even more tasty. Let's just put them alongside each other. Just go all out.
Yeah, those are the people I was going to look out for mostly in this racing, is I'd say they've been the quickest two in this tier the past, like, probably 6 races or so. They've definitely been on form and the quickest drivers in this tier. So I don't see why that would change here. But in the wet, it's definitely a lot tougher having to adapt or learn your braking points. And just getting used to the wet, that's why a lot of people are going to be invalidating and not setting the quickest times. Takes a few laps to learn how much grip there is, really.
And with that, you can also do as many laps as you want on the same compound of tire, which is exactly what Johan Laura has done. He's already done 3 laps on those inters, and it looks like he might be able to improve yet again on his lap time, or does he just miss out? No, he just misses out by 2.5 tenths, but he goes to purple sector 3, so he's figuring out that last sector to improve on his lap time. I noticed that Redeemer actually went up to P4, and not P4, P3 in the Alfa Romeo, so a good lap time from him so far, but that can all definitely change. And oh, that is actually Redeemer off, has spun off at the exit of, I believe, turn 4.
No surprise that we're going to be seeing a lot of spins, as it's actually really easy to spin at this track in general. If you get it wrong on the curb, and in the wet it's even worse.
Though, by the looks of it, actually, the more I'm looking at the track, it's not raining.
Yeah, it's
starting to dry up a little.
Yeah, the times will definitely improve a lot, and we might see a bit of overheating if people go for multiple laps in a row. And James
that'll definitely be the case. Obviously, with the track conditions always changing when it comes to the wet. James B's going to be the next person to cross the line. Carbon's retired from the session, and that is another disappointing qualifying from him. James B goes up to P3. I was on board with him for that. So a good lap time so far from the AlphaTauri, who wants to hold P2 in the Drivers' Championship. And we'll see how that goes on between him and Ball Guy, which is currently P10. But he is on a lap right now. When he crossed the Sector 2 split, he was 1.8 up on his lap time. Where can he put that Ferrari at their home track? Well, he puts it up to P7.
An unknown is off the track, letting people through.
A courteous thing to do.
Yeah.
If there's any way you could let anybody by, just go off track. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You won't get a penalty for it. It's fine.
Yeah. And everyone
Speaking of penalties, by the way, fair play to Tier 4. Despite the chaos that they've had, not a single person has had a quality or race ban in this tier.
That kind of surprises me, to be honest, but we move.
But another surprise is, once again, the attendance.
Ooh, DRS is enabled.
DRS.
Okay, so yeah, it is. Yeah, it's really dry now. There's like barely any raindrops coming down. So yeah, everyone that's on the track needs to get in the pits.
You can still see a little bit on the TV pod of the unknown, but it's not. There isn't any spray coming off of the tires, and it looks like just the way that he's taking the racing line might be why he might be getting a little bit of drops. But that's now going to beg the question: who's going to go onto the softs? Well, there's already, by the looks of it, there's already one person out on the soft compounded tire, and it's Sprightly in the McLaren.
Yeah, I don't know if I was these drivers, I would sit in the pits and let the track dry out a bit because it just got enabled, so the track's not going to be much faster. But yeah, I would sit in the pits and have enough time to do 2 laps on a set of tires, and I'd say that's the best play to do.
And by the timer, it looks like you can easily do at least 2 laps on the soft compounded tire.
Yeah.
But who knows? I mean, there's already quite a few people going out on an out lap. One of them being Butters, but he's on the inters. He might come back into the pits again.
Yeah.
Johan Lara's on the soft.
Yeah, he is, but in my opinion, it's not too worth it yet, as the track's still a little damp. It's not fully dried out yet, so it's kind of almost a waste of a set of tires, as you're almost guaranteed to improve at the end of the session when, yeah, the track will most likely be fully dry and fully up to peak conditions.
We'll just have to wait and find out in the dying stages of this qualifying. We've seen quite a few times in this tier how the track condition can change absolutely everything in qualifying, because back over to the US Grand Prix, we saw a different Alpine go on to pole position. We're used to seeing Slayer on pole position quite a few times, but no, it was actually his teammate of Days that got into the pole by strapping on the soft compounded tire at the last possible second, and well, he managed to grab pole. Unfortunately, the race didn't translate the way he wanted to, but it's still something. It's still something he cherishes.
Well, yeah, you gotta take the little things, take the little victories, and take pride in it.
Exactly. I'm gonna go on board with Johan Lara here, who's currently started a lap going through the first chicane. Hasn't really had a moment, so he's kept it nice and easy for now. Now going through the fast left right, and he takes that nice and easy as well. A purple sector 1, no surprise, he's already 1.7 up on his lap time, is the Haas. He's got a little bit of traffic though in front. He's got the Mercedes of Frizy in front of him, who's still on the intercompetitive tires, so he's gonna have to be careful and make sure he doesn't invalidate this lap.
He's getting held up.
No, not invalidate, sorry.
Yeah,
Get impeded. Oh, yeah.
Oh, dear.
Contact there.
Frizy was in AI
Yikes.
for a second. I don't know why. I kind of saw that happening as he pulled over to the right-hand side going into Aquamina Raleigh, and then he pulled back onto the racing line. So yeah, that's...
I mean, to be fair, it could have been a case of both were on a lap.
He pulled over,
Johan
though.
Lara was just going a lot quicker.
Well, Frizy pulled over, though.
Maybe it was just his racing line. You never know. You just never know. It can be weird like that. But I suppose that Frizy will be into the pits. Yes, he is. And Johan Lara has now gone fastest with a 1:19.2, but Slayer is on a lap, so he's definitely going to be one to watch out for in this qualifying. And where does he go through the Sector 1 split? 2.6 up on his lap time, so he is already flying on this lap.
Yeah, we'll see those big improvements with the big sector splits, which I guess is quite exciting to see as the drivers seeing the big improvements, but it's obviously because the track's drying, and it looks almost fully dry at this point.
Yeah, it definitely looks like on board with Slayer. There's a yellow flag at Sector 1. That's a Ferrari that spun round. That is fluky I didn't see what the Sector 2 split was for Slayer, but one thing's for sure, he would definitely be up on his lap time. He hasn't invalidated, so he's only got a couple more corners to go. Sprightly goes on to provisional pole with a 1:18.5, but that could very easily be beaten by this man, Slayer, as he rounds the final corner. Gonna open the DRS. Where does he put that Alpine? Puts it on the pole with a 1:15.1. That is 3 seconds faster than the next car.
Yeah, that was a good lap. A little bit more improvement in the last sector. I saw he had a small lockup going to the penultimate corner, which put him a little bit deep. But yeah, I think obviously just going from the wet, you're not 100% confident with the car because you just went from wet conditions where there's no grip to now where there's grip. So yeah, it's good that he got a decent lap in first, so he has time to go into the pits and go it again. As Unknown goes second on the mediums.
Yeah, he did. I was on board with him. He's maybe 2.7 off the pace, but he's on the front row as it stands for the time being, but though that could definitely change, as I believe that is a Alfa Romeo, that is Redeemer, and he now goes up to the front row, but it's quickly beaten by Butters, and he's now gone onto the front row in the Mercedes. So already the lap times are really coming in. Yellow flag in Sector 1. That is for the Unknown. I believe he's just pulling off so he doesn't get in anybody's way. Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Now going over to the next person to cross the line, it's going to be Sprightly. No, he's not. He's actually going to pull it to the pits, as he already did a lap time. Next person is going to be an Alpine. Actually, no, it's not going to be the Alpine. So instead, it's going to be Bald Guy, who's starting a flying lap. Who's the next person on a flying lap? I believe it's KP21 in the Red Bull. He's 6 seconds up on his lap time. There's only 2 minutes left of qualifying to go, and anything could change. There's a random yellow flag in Sector 2. Lovely.
Love the fake yellow flags.
Yeah, you definitely do. But KP21 now going through the final 2 corners, nearly invalidating, not quite hitting the apex of that corner. But he's going to blast down the main straight. Hasn't invalidated. Where does he put that Red Bull? He puts it up to 4th as it stands. Next person is going to be Henchman to start a flying lap. Though James B now goes onto the front row, and he's half a second off of Slayer now.
Yeah, so far no one can get even close to Slayer. Sprightly crashed at... Oh, yeah. Oh, I think he's retarded the pits. Yeah. But yeah, so far no one's gotten really even close to Slayer, so far he's been dominating this qualifying session.
Yeah, he definitely has. Ball Guy's unfortunately invalidated his lap time, so he's not going to be able to improve. Who's the next person to make a lap time? I think it's going to be Slow and Steady.
Butters might be starting up. He just invalidated and backed off, so he might be going again.
Quite possibly. There's only a minute left to qualifying, so if you're not out on track now, you're definitely not going to be able to improve with Slayer and the Unknown and Fluky all in the pits, and they're not going to be able to improve on their lap time. The Slow and Steady is going to be the next person to cross the line that is on a lap time, unless... I think that's the Alpine. No, it's not the Alpine, actually. That's the... What car is that? I am brain farting. Anyways, we're going to go back over to Slow and Steady, though. Where does he put that Red Bull? He puts it up to 7th. His teammate, though, goes up to P4, and there's a little bit of slipstream action between the two.
Oh, James B.
But KP21's very low on ERS. James B's retired.
He got held up by a little bit by, I think it was... Oh, it was Henchman. He got held up by a little bit Henchman the last 2 corners, and then I guess he was frustrated, and after he completed the lap, he stuck himself in a wall.
Yikes.
Yeah.
That's not what you want. Frizy goes up to P6, so he's alongside his teammate as it stands. But next person is going to be... No, it's not going to be Redeemer, actually. He backs off. So instead, it's going to be Butters in the Mercedes. Does he improve on his lap time? He runs out of fuel across the line. And he's not going to be able to improve his lap time. What about Bald Guy? He's going to cross the line.
P6.
He goes up to P6. He's quite a distance away from his rival. What about Johan Laura? He's down to P11. He doesn't improve. He goes into the pits.
Well...
What about... I think the next person is going to be Days in the Alpine. Unless... No, I think Henchman's on the lap, actually. No, he's not. He's invalidated. So instead, it is going to be Days in the Alpine. He's just got 2 more corners to go.
I don't think he has a front wing.
He's going an interesting... Oh, he
yeah.
is missing a bit of his front wing. Yeah, but he's still valid. So as long as he gets his lap in, I think he might be able to jump up the order. No, he goes into the pits. So never mind. So... That is qualifying done, and Slayer is on pole position once again. He's gone back to back to back to back. He's basically gone 5 in a row at this point, I think.
Yeah, that's his. According to the spreadsheet, that's his 7th pole of the season, and I think most of those
Wow.
are from like basically every race after. After around USA, I think he's basically gotten pole in every single race.
Yeah, and that makes it his 7th pole position of the season. He eclipses James B by getting the most pole positions in a single season. And well, that's a good way to end off the season. Let's see if we can go for that 5th win, which would just be one under Phantom. In which Phantom has 6 wins. But he's on pole for the 7th time. James B lines up on the front row once again, and Redeemer lines up in P3 ahead of KB21. A good qualifying there from the Red Bull. Butters in the top 5, I believe, for the first time. Not entirely sure, but if that is, then that's a great lap there from the Mercedes. Ball Guy in P6 ahead of Frizy. Both Mercedes are in the top 10. The Unknown in P8 on the mediums. Let's not forget that. The Unknown is the only person in the top 10 to start on the medium compounded tire. Slow and Steady lines up P9 ahead of Sprightly. Johan Laura lines up outside the top 10 in P11 with Henchman, Father Corn, Days, Carbon, and Fluky unable to get up into the top 10, and we'll have to start in the bottom.
Yeah, I think the one we'll really had a shocking qualifying was Johan Laura, seeing as he was showing pace in the rain and at the start of the qualifying. But he could definitely, has free tire choice, so he could definitely go on the alternative strategy and pull something off here and still probably be in the podium.
And knowing Tier 4, that's definitely not out of the question.
Yeah, definitely not.
A little bit overcast here at the start of this race, but it is all dry as I was told. And we're about to get underway eventually as soon as everyone sorts out their strategies. Let's go over to the race director. It looks like everyone on the soft compounded tire, obviously except for the Unknown, who started in the top 10 on the mediums. Speaking of which, next game, that's not going to exist. So that could be very interesting there. Johan Laura in P11, and he's already selected the medium compounded tire. Everyone else on the soft by the looks of it. But the real question is who's going to come out on top and what the heck is going to happen in this final race?
Yeah, who knows? It's Tier 4, as we've said a bazillion times so far. But yeah, you really cannot
Yeah.
predict with this tier what's going to happen here. It's so unpredictable with usually the lots of safety cars and all that can really mix up all the races in the orders.
Oh, definitely. You can definitely bet on that for something to occur. I'm going to go over to a few stats that have just recently popped up for me. So, over the course of the entire season, we have had an average attendance of around 17, I want to say 17.6 now, if I'm not mistaken. And, well, that, I believe, is the highest that any tier has gotten except for realistic, of course. So they're the highest equal tier. We've had 8 unique pole sitters, in which those pole sitters were Phantom, James B, Ball Guy, Johan Laura, Slayer, Ball Guy didn't get a pole. That's my bad. I was looking over at wins. But it's Phantom, James B, Johan Laura, Slayer, Valkyrie, and Days Freak. I believe 2 others got, but they dropped the tier. I'm not 100% sure. And we've had 8 unique winners. And considering Tier 4, that we could possibly get a 9th. We'll have to find out. And one person I want to give credit for is a man in P6, Ball Guy. He's been in every single race. The commitment from Ball Guy this season has been incredible, and it shows it because he's P3 in the standings and is currently running for P2.
Yeah, that's really good to see someone showing up to every single race, which I feel like in a lot of leagues you don't see very often. But he's done it.
Yeah, he has definitely done it, so well done to a Ball Guy. the biggest reliability goes to the championship winner, actually, of Phantom. He may have DNF last week, but he's the most reliable in terms of finishing a race with 95%. And well, if you're in a championship fight, that's exactly what you want. So Phantom takes that, I believe, the highest quality and the highest race positions.
Slayer is
go to Phantom as well.
Slayer wins that in quality though.
Oh, he does. Yeah, you're right.
3.9 to 4.0.
He was at 3.9. Yeah, but Phantom takes the average race position to, and he takes that with 4. Speaking of which, speaking of Slayer, he's actually spun off. Not sure what's happened to the Alpine. I just noticed that.
And
he's been disqualified. Okay.
That's not good. He's not going to get a good start.
Yeah, he's definitely not going to get a good start, and that's not what he wants for the final race of the season. But we'll have to find out. 32 laps, and who knows what's in store for us.
Yeah, who knows? I think it's going to be a good race with the field spread probably, and also the fact that DRS is so powerful, so the overtakes are always really fun, just flying past people on the straight.
Yeah, it definitely can be. It can definitely be a factor in this race. We'll have to find out. But now everyone is lining up on the grid for the final time here in Tier 4 for Season 7. And well, it's been a very, very long season. But it's definitely going to be a season that many will remember for all the action that we were given in 23 races. But we're about to be given one more and add that total up to 24 races. And well, I'm kind of sad to see it go, but every story has its end. 5 red lights for the season finale here. And it's lights out, and away we go. A bit of a tentative start there for Slayer. He's already been jumped by James B, but they're going wheel to wheel now down the main straight. But KB21 is now looking interested in the Red Bull, and it looks like they're about to go 3 wide. No, James B gets ahead and into the lead, ahead of Slayer. The KB21 Redeemer in 4th, ahead of Butters as the yellow flag for the back. I think someone might have spun off, but looks like everyone's managed to keep it easy. James B from Slayer, KB21, and Redeemer. Butters at the top 5 ahead of Bald Guy. Frizy, Johan Lara already up to 8th. Meanwhile, further back, Frizy and Bald Guy going at it. Frizy has gotten ahead. There's another yellow flag. Looks like everyone's... Oh, he did, yeah. Looks like he has, but no front wing damage for the Aston Martin, so he'll be able to continue on. But looks like so far, everyone has kept it clean as of right now. Johan Lara is already on the back of Bald Guy, so Johan Lara has already had a great start. Meanwhile, someone who's also had a great start is Valkyrie. Carbon is now round in the Aston Martin at Alca Minerale.
Yeah, it's a tough corner to navigate, which I think we will see quite a few spins there today. But yeah, Johan Lara making his way through the field. And he got passed by Father Korn.
He's trying to go for a move on Father Korn, thinking about a move around the outside, but he backs out of it for the time being. He's now going to stay in P9, so he's already up 2 positions off the start. But James B leads the first lap ahead of Slayer and KB21. A great start from KB21, and he's already fallen back under the away from the 1 second of Slayer, and Slayer is already pressurizing James B as they are 2.2 seconds ahead of the next car. Meanwhile, further back, I think Fluky just went for a move into turn 2 on Slow and Steady. Yes, he has, and Fluky is now to P13. But as of right now, no front wings gone, and everyone's kept it clean at the start of this race.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the people. Oh, and Carbon spun.
Oh.
And he's kept it out of the wall, so good job. But yeah, something I noticed scrolling through every driver is some people have underfueled.
That could definitely be a factor in this race, obviously, with the safety car. Well, who knows what could happen. The unknown gets past days for P15. But one thing's for sure is that the battle for the lead is definitely going to get interesting. There's a yellow flag for the back. Fluky spun round, I think. Yes, he has. Something has happened to the Ferrari at Aqua Minerale once again.
Yeah, Aqua Minerale again, catching a lot of people out. It's very easy to spin, like I said, if you just hit the inside curb or carry too much speed. But yeah, Slayer is really on the gearbox of James B here, so once DRS gets stable, he'll definitely be able to fly past.
He might not even need it, you know. He's already on the back end, pulling alongside of the Alpha Tower. They're going wheel to wheel now, down into turn 2. Who breaks latest? It's going to be Slayer, but James B trying to stay alongside, but Slayer retakes the lead here at Imola And he's going to try and pull away from JB out of the 1 second.
I think he could do it because he's stuck within like 2/10 for throughout the entire lap, so I don't see why he can't pull out of 1 second. Gap's already up to almost 7/10.
Yeah, so Slayer definitely showing his pace once again, and he can definitely just easily pull away. We'll have to find out. Further back, though, Johan Laura and Father Korn going at it. Father Korn defending the inside of the Haas, but he is able to stay ahead for the time being. But Johan Laura, remember, he's on the medium compound of tire, as is everyone else from 9th down, except for Sprightly, Slow and Steady, and Carbon. Meanwhile, further back, Fluky has spun around. I think Valkyrie just went around the outside of Henchman through Aqua Minerale.
Fluky retired on track. I don't think he crashed. I think it's a safety car.
That is a virtual safety car. And it looks like Johan Laura managed to get past Father Korn just in time. I think Valkyrie might have just gone around the outside of Henchman through the first part of Aqua Minerale, which is a bold move there. But he managed to pull it off, so he's up into P10. A virtual safety car, and that neutralizes the race now. And everyone's going to have to watch out for speeding the Frizy, interestingly, into the pits, and so is Johan Laura.
Did they
Interesting.
I don't know why Johan Laura pit, seeing as he started on the medium compound tires, unless he wants to go to the end on the hards, but... Oh, he's got a wing change.
He's on mediums. Oh, that explains it.
So I did see him...
it's rather a cheap pit stop.
Yeah, I did see him run wide at Aqua Minerale. A lot of understeer, so that might explain it.
Yeah, quite possibly, but now he's down in P15 and way off the pack. But we'll see what he could do, see if he can put on a bit of a charge. And if there's a safety car, that could definitely change his race. Let's go over to the position gains. So far, the biggest gainer in this race has been the McLaren of Valkyrie, who's already up to P8. He's got him 9 positions off the start. And the biggest loser, I guess you could say, is Frizy. He's down 7 positions and in P14. Yellow flag, and I think that might be for Johan Laura. Yes, it is.
Yeah, he like half spun, I think, at turn 1 or something. So yeah, it's not going well for Johan Laura, having to pit under the VSC to get his front wing change. And also,
there's more drama because Sprightly's around.
Is that Aqua Minerale again?
Exit.
Yeah. That's a lot of people getting caught out there.
Yeah, Aqua Minerale clearly showing that is a tricky corner to navigate. It's already caught out quite a few drivers. But one person that definitely has a caught out, yeah, is Slayer. He's already ahead of James B by 1.8 seconds. And KB21 is slowly gaining on that AlphaTauri. And near enough within the DRS.
Yeah, he's I think James B really got caught out on that safety car restart, because I don't think the gap was that big when the VSC came out. So yeah, Slayer must have had a brilliant restart to pull that gap out to already 2 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like he's just going to keep pulling that gap ever so much more. And well, James B just has to be aware that he doesn't make a mistake, or else KB21 will be all over him. Though KB21 is carrying someone with him right now, and that's Redeemer. Redeemer slowly gaining on... Hi, dogs.
Hi.
The Redeemer slowly gaining and just staying in contention of KB21 ahead. And it looks like he will get DRS. Henchman gets a 3-second time penalty. That's now the second penalty in this race. Father Korn got the first one. And time penalties can definitely play a factor. But the first person that's going to have DRS... Well, Carbon gets a 3-second time penalty, but the next person to get, the first person to get DRS is going to be Redeemer in the Alfa Romeo. There it is, the DRS flap wide open. He's gaining on that Red Bull. Is he going to be able to gain enough to make a move into turn 2? Ooh. He sends it up the inside. A bit of a late move, but KB21 able to keep it around the outside and holds the position still. And further back, Ball Guy has gotten ahead of Butters and is up into P5. Valkyrie has made a move. He's up into P7. And Slow and Steady now up into P10, getting ahead of the unknown. So clearly, turn 2 being a favorable overtake here.
Yeah, and KB21 got a 3-second time penalty. But yeah, you could see Redeemer closing really fast, and he did not really touch the overtake button. He closed down like half a second, so that shows how powerful the DRS is around here. And Johan Laura setting the fastest lap, trying to get as far up the field as he can, hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, he's trying to make up ground for that front wing change and that spin early on. But yeah, Redeemer clearly showing how powerful the DRS is around here and gaining so much time on KB21 ahead. Valkyrie gets a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. That's now 5 drivers already with a time penalty. We're only on lap 6, but Redeemer's going to have a second bite of the cherry. Gets a little bit loose there at the exit, but he is going to have DRS just as he's hanging through that 1 second window, but he is going to have it, and it looks like he's not going to be close enough.
Valkyrie was lagging a lot, and they were side by side in the penultimate corner, and Father Corn didn't brake. So that's a safety car.
Full course safety car.
So Johan Laura was brought right back into this race, so he's gonna be happy about that.
He definitely is. But the question is now, is to what the leaders do, specifically the leaders all on the soft compound of well, no, not even just them.
So Unknown's
Valkyrie's the highest medium runner.
Unknown the first one into the pits with a front wing change.
He's got onto softs, interestingly.
Well, he started on mediums, so he might go back on hards or on mediums, I'm not sure, but
we'll have to find out. Slow and Steady went onto the medium compounded tires, same with Sprightly. And Johan Lara has gotten ahead of all these drivers, and unsurprisingly, I should say, didn't pit due to the fact that he only has 2 laps on those mediums, so he could very much go quite a bit longer and hope for another safety car. But the question is, though, what does Slayer do? He's in a comfortable position. He built up quite a bit of gap to James B behind, but does he pit? And if he does, will the others follow suit? So it's Slayer that's going to be the one deciding it. He pits. Does the Alpine? Does James B follow suit? Yes, he does. What about KB21? He's in as well. So is Redeemers. I think everybody is going to go in by the looks of it. Yes.
Yeah, I think you're kind of forced to pit at this point because it's not too far off your pit window. So if you don't pit, then you're going to get caught out massively. You're just going to you're going to lose a full pit stop. And yeah, a lot of people are going on in the mediums, it looks like, as there's a high chance of another safety car. So if you go on hards, then that's... Honestly, going on mediums or hards, they're both a big risk, as...
They say that, yet Bald Guy has just gone to a new set of softs, so he's definitely hoping for another safety car.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that. That's... I personally would not do that, because that's...
They could possibly be another USA glitch where he actually went onto the wrong compound of tire.
That's possible.
And that hurt him of a chance of the win. He still managed to grab P2 in that race, which was a very credible B2, but yeah, it could possibly be one of those situations, though he's stuck behind the Alpine of DTF1 Days, who's on 7-lap old hards, which he's been on those hards since the start of this race, and he hasn't pitted. But everyone in the top 5 has pitted, from Slayer all the way down to Butters, and so has Bald Guy, Valkyrie, Henchman, and Slow and Steady, the Unknown, Sprightly, and Carbon. So we'll have to watch out if they can make those tires last. But one thing's for sure is that Bald Guy, he can't make those tires last, and he'll have to pit again no matter what, because he started on the softs. You have to be within the allocated tires, which you have to basically be on another set. Oh, actually, someone spun around. That's Carbon.
Under the square. Oh, I think...
Oh!
Crazy, yeah. I just scrolled through and saw that.
Nearly.
Yeah. But I think most people going down the mediums is... I think it's somewhat a safe choice because the tires will go to the end and you won't lose pace.
Yeah, definitely, but one person that's definitely playing it safe is Butters. He's the only person in the top 5 and the only person that pitted that went onto the hard compounded tire, so he can easily go to the end of this race. But we'll just have to see how he fares if he gets caught up by cars behind, or if he's able to stay within the cars in front. We'll just have to find out. I presume that the safety car will be in on lap 9 as everyone is now across the line. Somebody has just dived into the pits. That's Frizy.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe just going on a new set of mediums as he's not going to lose too much track position. Yeah.
Yep.
But
new set of mediums for the Mercedes, and he's now going to fall down to P14, but he'll easily be able to catch up to the safety car in front, in which the safety car will go in at the end of lap 9.
Yeah, and the Slayer will lead us away, but yeah, the mediums, as we saw in Realistic, after, I don't know, it's probably around like 17, 18 laps or so, that's when they really started dropping off and the hards were definitely quicker, so Butters is definitely playing the long game here. And
in the end, that could possibly favor him, granted, if anybody doesn't exactly have the tire wear. We'll just have to find out in the latter stages of this Grand Prix. But when the safety car comes in this lap, as you said, it will be Slayer's discretion. And well, as of recently, he's been getting pretty used to that, so he knows the procedure, and he knows exactly when to go, where to go, and that will determine how this race is going to go. Will he be able to pull ahead of James B, or will James B be able to stay behind? We'll have to find out, as I presume the safety car will be called in pretty soon. Yep, there it is. Safety car in this lap.
Yep, and I forgot what I was gonna say.
Nice one.
Well, Bald Guy, I think, will definitely gain a lot, because he's on the softs, which are a really good race tire, and they're very fast. So yeah, he'll definitely be able to fly through the field and get up probably almost to the podium, I presume.
Yeah, we'll just definitely have to find out, but we still have to get through 23 laps of racing. And there's something has gone on further back. I think Johan Lars spun. Yes, he has. But race is now resumed, and Slayer has gone. He hasn't exactly caught out James B, but one person that is definitely gaining from this
KB21.
is KB21. He's on the back of the AlphaTauri. Can he possibly go for a move into turn 2? He thinks about it, but he's not going to be able to make a move just yet. Meanwhile, I think there's someone spun there further back. Yeah, that was Bald Guy. Something has happened to the Ferrari. Doesn't look like he hit the wall of any sort, so Carbon's out.
Not another safety car.
We'll have to find out. Frizzy taking a rather interesting line. He took out a brake marker board. Doesn't look like there is going to be a safety car, so the race will resume. A little bit of a chaotic one, but nothing too crazy. But Slayer slowly starting to pull a gap on James B once again. The KB21 staying close behind on the AlphaTauri. Then it's Redeemer, Butters, the top 5, staying stationary. Then it's Valkyrie P6 ahead of Henchman. Days in the top 10. Same with the Unknown. And Slow and Steady also to top 1. Speaking of which, the Unknown and Days going at it. And I believe the Unknown has just gotten ahead. Yes, he has. And he can be under pressure from Slow and Steady behind. But he's not going to be able to do anything in the chicane as of yet.
Yeah, and Slayer's already broken out of the 1 second for now, and James B's really trying to use his battery to stay within, but Slayer's not really using anything, and he's already out of the 1 second, so he's got to, well, he wants to get that gap back that he had before the safety car.
Yeah, Slayer definitely flying in this race. He's definitely one of the fastest cars out on track. And pulling 1.2 ahead of James B is exactly what I needed. Meanwhile, further back, Slow and Steady, and Days going at it. And it looks like Slow and Steady has gotten ahead. Yes, he has. He is now up into P9. And further back, Johan Lara on the back of Sprightly. All over the gearbox of that McLaren. He could possibly be looking for a move. He does.
And Sprightly lets him
and
through.
Sprightly just lets it by.
Oh,
It goes around the outside of Days.
Oh,
It goes
he's in
up
the
the
gravel.
track in doing so. He might have to get that position back, which he does. And will have to slot behind there. Goes for the move once again at the hairpin. Does he get the traction? Yes, he does. Johan Lara is now up into 10th place.
Yeah, he is, but he still has to make a pit stop, so he's definitely hoping for another safety car to bail him out. But yeah, that was a risky move around the outside of that corner. I don't think I've ever seen someone overtake around the outside there, but he kind of made it work. He got it at the next corner.
A little bit wide, but he was able to get ahead. Meanwhile, further back, just right behind. Bald Guy, Sprightly, and Days going at it. Sprightly gets ahead of Days. The Bald Guy gets ahead of both drivers. He's now back up into P11.
Yeah, he's got to make these softs work while they're still fastest. And yeah, Slayer's setting the fastest lap. Got that gap up to 2 seconds.
Yeah, Slayer absolutely flying
Slow and
in
Steady
this race. So
spun.
James B. Oh, he has. Yeah, you're right. He has spun off at the final corner. I don't think he's hit the wall, though, so he'll be able to continue on for now. But that has now relegated him down to P14, and he's got a lot of time to make up. Meanwhile, Redeemer's now got a 3-second time penalty. That's not going to help him in this race. That now puts him under pressure from Butters behind, who's somewhat staying close within that 1 second. The Valkyrie could be pressurized in the Mercedes, because Valkyrie is right there.
Yeah, I think Butters' aim is to try and stay within DRS of someone to drag him along while his hards are slower. And as the mediums slowly drop off, then he'll come back at the end of the race when the hards are much faster.
Playing the long game is exactly what he's doing, and, well, as long as he just keeps it consistent, it'll definitely pay off. We'll just have to find out, though. He has to be a little bit aware because the Valkyrie is behind. And Valkyrie, we know how Valkyrie can be. Johan Lora's out!
That's...
Aqua Minerali once again.
Unfortunate. So that kind of ends the battle I was looking for in the standings for P4.
Yeah, that's easily getting, well, I wouldn't say easily. I mean, Johan Laura does obviously have the position, so if Slayer were to DNF, that would obviously settle it. But Slayer, he's absolutely flying, and it looks like he's not making any mistakes in this race. So that could potentially be Slayer's for the taking. We'll just have to find out. But that is now the 4th retirement in this race, and we're only on lap 13.
Yeah, this race is going by really slow, but yeah, I think Slayer just wanted to get out of the 1 second because he knew he had the pace, and I think now he's gonna somewhat slow it down a bit and control the pace so he makes no mistakes and does not spin off.
Yeah, he's just going to keep it very consistent as the Alpine and just make sure that the tires will last. And, well, right now he's still pulling away from James B as it stands, though. One person that isn't exactly pulling away is KP21, as Redeemer's slowly catching up to him. Meanwhile, I think James B is spun. Yes, he has! Spun off at Aqua Minerale. That's another victim. And he has now been relegated down to P6, maybe even P7 if Henchman gets ahead. Henchman dives on the inside, and yeah, now James B is down to P7. No. Meanwhile, the Unknown is spun off as well. And so is Frizy. Everyone's
Frizy's out.
Off, and oh, what the?
That was a weird way to die. I think that's a safety car.
That's probably the slowest crash I've seen.
That looks so funny. He just drove into the wall very slowly.
Wow, okay. That happened.
Well, James B's back in the race.
He is back in this race, you're right. He has pitted, and so has Ballguy. The Ballguy gets a 5 seconds.
He might want to pit again
is not gonna help
to get rid of that.
He might do that. We'll have to see. James B is now gone onto a set of medium compounded tire, and so has Ballguy, so they can now theoretically go to the end of this race. The Unknown also pits as well off the soft compounded tire, and he now goes on to the mediums. Doesn't have a front wing change, though, so he didn't hit anything despite that spin that he had. But I'm just amazed by how many times people have been caught out by Aqua Minerale here tonight.
Yeah, I knew that was going to happen, but I feel like every single person almost so far has spun off of that corner.
Well, I don't think Slayer has.
Well, no, but basically half
quite
the grid.
A lot of people, let's just put it simply.
About half the grid, I'd say, is spun off at Aqua Minerale.
Yeah, definitely. But safety car will now collect everyone, though. One thing's for sure is that Slayer actually managed to get ahead of the safety car before it came out of the pit lane exit. So Slayer will run another lap behind the safety car, but he stays out, interestingly, so he will not pit. But do the others is the question. Do they pit and go for a fresh set of mediums? Well, KB21's done that. Redeemer doesn't. What about Butters? Butters stays out. He's sticking with that long game is the Mercedes. And Valkyrie stays out. Henchman stays out. So, from Slayer down to Henchman, have all stayed out on the tire that they selected.
I mean, I would say most people really should pit just to get the fresh tires, as a lot of people are going to be in the pits, so you're not going to lose too much track position, so... But Slayer, he definitely has the most to lose if he pits, because everyone else could stay out and basically create a roadblock, in that sense.
Yeah, quite definitely, but one thing's for sure is that KB21 can definitely go to the end. So can James B, Ballguy, the Unknown, and Slow and Steady, as I believe the mediums can easily make it from lap 14 onwards, especially when there's a safety car like this. So all they had to do is just give absolutely everything. Ballguy pits again, though I believe that's for getting rid of the 5 second. Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's a smart decision. Because, yeah, he definitely got his pace, so he can definitely get through the field again. But yeah, getting rid of that 5 second is crucial.
Yeah, it definitely is crucial. However, he has lost position to Slow and Steady behind. But however, it's only one position that he's lost, and he's on the better compound, so he can easily get ahead in when the safety car restarts and the race is resumed. We'll just have to find out. But everyone now starting to bunch up behind the safety car once again for the second time this race. Slayer still leads. Redeemer now in P2. Butters in P3. Valkyrie P4. With Henchman in P5. That's your top 5. Though there's Sprightly in P6 ahead of DTF on Days. There's KB21, the highest of the ones that have pitted underneath the safety car. James B, the Unknown, Slow and Steady, and Ballguy. We've already lost 5 drivers. That being Frizy, Johan Laura, Carbon, Father Korn, and Fluky. I said that we could possibly be in for an amazing race for the season finale, and, well, it's definitely served up quite a bit of drama.
Yeah, it definitely has. But someone that I think really should have pit was Days. He's been on those tires since lap 1, but he's gonna be a sitting duck on those old tires.
Yeah, he definitely will, but like he is, like Butters is, he's playing the long game though. He's playing it quite a bit longer. He's got double the amount of laps of on the hard compounded tires that Butters has. Butters only has 7. Days has 15. So he's definitely hoping for a late race safety car, which, to be honest, that's not something bad you can beg for. It could definitely happen. You never know. So he could possibly benefit out of this. You never know. We'll just have to find out.
Yeah, more Aquaman Raleigh crashes. That's very possible.
Yeah, it definitely can be possible. We've already had, if I can remember off the top of my head, I know James B did, Frizy did, Johan Laura, Carbon, Fluky. I think Father Korn spun there as well. That's for sure. The Unknown. That's already easily half the grid right there.
Yeah, like I said, about half the grid is spun off at Aquaman Raleigh.
Yeah, pretty much. It can still happen. We're not even halfway through this Grand Prix.
Yeah,
We're pretty much arriving at the halfway point.
Yeah, it's still gonna be a long race.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. And well, who knows what could happen as we're just waiting for Slow and Steady and Ball Guy to catch up behind the safety car. I don't think the safety car will be in at the end of this lap. Unless this is what happened in Japan quite a few years ago. There it is. I called it. I called it.
He's like in the final quarter and is already going in. That's really dumb.
I called that to a T.
Yeah, and Slayer's tires are definitely going to be iced because he did not expect that to go in, so... And Days pits
I
now.
didn't expect that either. Yeah, Days goes into the pits, but Slayer has now gone and has caught out Redeemer a little bit. The Redeemer in that slipstream, he's going to be able to catch back. But races now resume. Slayer ahead of Redeemer, ahead of Butters. He's under pressure.
Oh, KB21's out.
Flag. KB21's out.
What happened there?
What is happening here in Imola? KB21 has, he might have hit someone?
Is that
or something? I'm not sure. There's a bit of commotion going on.
Redeemer with another penalty.
Slow and Steady had Ball Guy swapping position. I'm not sure. Butters gets overtaken by Valkyrie, and yeah, Redeemer getting a 3-second time penalty. We've almost already lost half the grid. What is going on here?
Yeah, I have no idea. Slayer's already gotten the cap out of 1 second from Redeemer, and it's only been like just over half a lap. So Slayer is still flying.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing that hasn't changed is that Slayer is definitely on a charge. He wants this win if he wants to clinch P4 in the drivers. And right now he's on the road to do so ahead of Redeemer. Redeemer running on the podium once again. Valkyrie running in P3 ahead of Butters. Butters still staying on those hard compounded tires, still in a great position is the Mercedes. Valkyrie now gets a 3-second time penalty. Let's look over at time penalties. Redeemer and Valkyrie both have 6 seconds. Butters, Henchman, the Unknown all have 3 seconds. Meanwhile, further back, James B and Henchman going at it. James B with the superior straight line speed of the Williams, at least compared to the Williams, and he gets ahead easily. And Butters has gotten past.
On the hards versus the mediums, that's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, Butters looking pretty pacey here on the hard compounded tire. He's now back up into the podium places. And considering that Valkyrie has 6 seconds compared to Butters 3, that would stay even if Butters was behind. We'll just have to see if that stays the same. I'll have to find out. Though, look at James B.
Yeah, he's on a charge.
He's definitely on a charge.
Yeah,
he's already up to P5 and challenging Valkyrie.
Yeah, James B's. Oh!
Oh!
Well, Valkyrie was letting him through.
Backed off or something.
Yeah, Valkyrie was letting him through, and that might be front wing damage for James B. So
quite possibly. We'll have a look. There isn't anything visually. We'll have to see if he loses any time to Butters ahead. And I'm not entirely sure. Sprightly now gets a 3-second time play, but that now puts James B up into P4. Valkyrie's now done to P5. Further back, the Unknown and Sprightly going at it, and the Unknown gets ahead and up into P7. I don't think James B has any damage. He's still gaining on Butters ahead. DRS has now been enabled, but that's not going to be available for the front 3. But it's definitely going to be available for James B. Further back, though, it looks like Ball Guy's gotten ahead of Sprightly. Sprightly might have made a mistake there. But Sprightly is now down to the P9. Sorry, no, not Valkyrie. Bald Guy is back up into P8, so Bald Guy clearly on the charge there in the Ferrari.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna make positions if he has any hopes of maybe challenging for P2 in the Drivers' Championship, but I think he just wants the best race possible, getting the most points possible, and trying to not pick up a penalty, which will put him up a lot of positions at this point.
Yeah, it definitely will, as it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, 5 drivers don't have a penalty right now. Yeah, 5. I was right the first time. So there we go. Only 5 drivers out of 6 don't have a time penalty as it stands. That being Slayer, James B, Bald Guy, Slow and Steady, and DTF1 Days. And, well, they'll definitely want to hope if they can keep it the same, but that can change within a matter of seconds. But going back over to the battle for P3, James B is closing onto the back of the Mercedes. I could very well go for this position on the main straight. Well, he's basically pushing the Mercedes through the final corner. He's got the DRS. He's got the slipstream. This should be an easy move for the AlphaTauri, but it looks like Butters actually has some really good straight line speed in on that car, and it looks like he'll be able to stay ahead.
Yeah, that's some really good straight line speed. Definitely, well, he did use his battery on the entire straight, but yeah, James B did not go down the straight very quick. But a stat I pulled up
there
was the total penalty seconds in this tier so far, 1,565.
Oh my gosh, okay.
An average of 68 per race.
Wow, okay, I definitely didn't expect that, but alright. So there's your interesting fact of the day, that's for sure. Meanwhile, for the back, it looks Sprightly has spun off.
Oh, and he's out, and that's another safety car.
And that's another safety car.
Slayer must be really annoyed at this point with all these safety cars.
Though one thing's for sure, could the softs make it to the end?
Yeah, they can.
The question is, though,
Will people
who bites the bullet first?
I would say the people at the back.
And Butters.
Yeah, well, yeah, Butters I don't think wants to be on the hards anymore. I think most people
Butters
should.
would be on the fresher tires
Yeah,
if he
Slayer's
does.
in.
Let's look over. Yeah, Slayer is in. Redeemer, does he follow suit?
Yep.
Yes, he does. I wouldn't be surprised if Butters pits.
Valkyrie gets a penalty under the safety car.
Pit. He does.
Well,
James B stays out.
That's a big gamble.
I mean, he's only on 6 lap old mediums.
And Unknown stays out as
so, I mean,
well.
it's not terrible.
Yeah, but
yeah, Unknown stays
as we
out
saw in Tier 3, you're going to get absolutely swarmed by the people on the fresh tires.
But right now, everyone has gone into the soft compounded tire that has pitted in this race. Does Days follow suit? No, Days actually stays out, interestingly. But Slayer is now going to be the highest runner on the soft compounded tire, and we know Slayer's pace. He's been showing it the entire time. Well, aside from the safety cars. But when there is no safety car, well, he's just pulling away from the field. And consider the fact that he's now on the softest and freshest of the softs. Well, he's going to be absolutely flying.
Yeah, I think he's very happy that most of the field pit, so he's only lost 2 positions on track, because I don't think he wants to have to take all the risks of overtaking. So only losing 2 track positions is really good for him.
Yeah, it definitely is. So he can chase after James B for the lead of this race and just easily pull away. Though, sorry, I'm eating chicken right now.
Nice.
The one thing for sure is that James B will have to be careful of Redeemer, Butters, Henchman, Valkyrie. They're all ahead of Days, in which Days stayed out on 3 lap old mediums. Days can easily make it to the end. So can all the other drivers. But everyone behind James B and the Unknown have fresher tires no matter what compound, and they are just going to be all over him. But they need to get past the Unknown first, so we'll have to find out how that pans out.
Yeah, I have a feeling these 2 medium runners staying out probably will cause some chaos.
Yeah, quite possibly. We'll have to see as well. Anybody who does that can definitely cause quite a bit of chaos. It's been evident in many tiers, not just tier 4. So we'll just have to see how they can pull the Mexican Minister of Defense, Sergio Perez.
We love
You pulled that in Abu Dhabi last week.
Yes, I did.
I was To be honest, I was actually screaming when I saw that. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is absolutely beautiful. For those that don't know, for those that don't know, Mumu was in an AlphaTauri defending against a Mercedes, in which the Mercedes was sending it pretty much everywhere, but Mumu just basically parking it everywhere, and it was beautiful, to put it simply. Mexican Minister of Defense right there. And it's not even in like a completely different car. It's in an AlphaTauri.
Yeah.
Perez is in Red Bull. Like there's that similarity. It's right there. James B can very much do that too.
Defending around here though is so tough because the DRS is so powerful. Because the DRS will get enabled, obviously. Yeah. Whereas when I did it, it just safety car came in, so there was no DRS, which made it much more fun and a lot easier to defend.
Yeah, you know a thing or two about defending. Tier 4, you better be listening for next season. That's all I need to say. I think the safety car might be in this lap. Yes, it is. So there we go. It's now James B's discretion as to when we'll go. When they cross the line, there'll be 10 laps of flat-out racing, especially for the drivers P3 downwards. And, well, it could be a very dramatic, very exciting, and it'll definitely be a way to send off Tier 4 for, well, pretty much everything that Tier 4 has had. Chaos, action, controversy at times, but one thing's for sure.
James B's gone.
It was never short of action, and James B has already gone, and it looks like he has caught out Unknown a little bit, but it's just not enough. The one thing's for sure, look at Slayer. He's on the back of that Aston Martin. Could he go for a move into turn 2? No, he doesn't. He's thinking smart, not hard type thing. Oh!
He's almost put in the barrier.
I was on board with him when that happened, and now he's
and Valkyrie's out.
There. Valkyrie's out.
Will that be another safety car?
Please no. Please no. I don't want another one. Please spare us. But that's now Valkyrie out in this race. We lost half the drivers in this race, pretty much.
The Unknown pulls over.
What a chaos this race has been. Slayer has made a move on the Unknown, so Slayer's already dispatched one medium runner, and now he's going to chase after James B for the lead. And Redeemer could very much follow suit in the Alfa Romeo, as the Unknown looks like he's not able to get the power down due to the deficit. And it looks like Redeemer could be looking for a move. No, he doesn't. He backs out. Though nearly gets hit by Butters behind. Butters braking super late. Goes a bit deep. But he manages to not get a time penalty out of that. And, well, could Redeemer possibly be looking for a move real soon? No, he's not. He's
Bald guy and Days going side by side to the penultimate quarter, and Days backs out.
Yeah, Bald guy obviously with the fresher tires. He manages to stay ahead. Meanwhile, further back, Butters and Henchman now going at it. Henchman getting the better exit of Butters. Butters had a little bit of a moment. Meanwhile, for the lead, the Slayer has the inside and clears the AlphaTauri and is now back up into the lead. And Redeemer has got himself back up into P3.
Yep, Redeemer with those penalties, but on track, he will definitely be challenging for P2 here. He needs to make these tires work while they're fastest, which at the end, I think actually no, I think the softs will stay as fast as James B's already 9 laps old.
We'll have to wait and see in the dying stages of this race, but yeah, Slayer is already pulling a second away from James B, unsurprisingly, and Redeemer closing that gap between him and James B.
Within a second.
That just ever so much more. He closed 2/10 at those 2 corners alone, so he is flying as the Alfa Romeo, but so is Slayer. Slow and steady now gets a 3-second time penalty, as they're actually coming up to a lap car. No, they're not. What am I saying? I thought that was Days being lapped, but no, Days is in the pack. I am so sorry. I did not mean to do that. That is completely my fault. I'll fully admit that.
Rude.
That was pretty rude.
And James B pits.
He does.
This is like his.
Does he have damage?
This is like his Zenfort strategy where he pits at the end and goes out to softs.
Did he have damage?
I don't think he does.
He doesn't have damage. No. So this is just him saying that this is not worth it.
Oh.
And now that puts him down to P9 and last. Henchman gets ahead of the Unknown, by the way. Battle for P3.
Days and Butters.
Henchman.
Jeez.
Oh.
Jeez, Days was like in the gravel and almost made contact.
Well, luckily there was no contact made, and Slow and Steady has now slotted himself in between Butters and Daze, and is going to try and get ahead of
Bald
Butters.
guy trying to go down
Meanwhile,
the inside at the fast
yeah, I'm
left-hander.
just seeing that ball guy clearly looking aggressive in this race, trying to go around the outside, and he makes the move the unknown, just lets it by. And now ball guy is back up into P4, and he's going to try and chase after Henchman ahead. And this is something I was going to mention. If ball guy were to get a time penalty, Henchman could very well get a podium in this race.
And something else is, if bald guy can get up to P2 here, and James B does not make up any more positions, they will be tied on points.
Wait, actually?
Yeah.
No way.
It's a 16-point difference, and right now James B I think is getting 2, and if he gets P, and if bald guy gets P2, it'll be 16-point gain. So yeah, they'll be tied on points. So James B, don't get any more positions.
That would go on count back of P2s as well, in which I think James B would get it. So ball guy needs to get at least like fastest lap or something if he wants to take that, but it could be very tight between those two. Slayer gets a 3-second time penalty. He may be 5 seconds out in front, but if there's a late race safety car, that can ruin his race.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Ball guy.
Yeah.
He can still very much be in the mix for this win, as he's on the back of Henchman right now.
Yeah, he is. He has a lot of ERS to use as well. Well, Henchman has 0. He's at almost below 10%. So yeah, bald guy should be able to fly past here, and then he has a lot of ground to make up, but not really, as if he doesn't get a time penalty, then he'll be within the range to P2.
Speaking of time penalties, Butters gets a 3-second time penalty, and that now puts him at 6. There's only 2 drivers that don't have a time penalty, and guess who it is? It's the 2 drivers that are competing for P2 in the Drivers' Championship. How uncanny is that? As bald guy trying to do everything he can, he wants this podium for Ferrari at their home Grand Prix. Well, one of 2 home Grand Prix.
Henchman's flashing
on the back of Henchman. Yeah, he is flashing, and this could be an easy move
for
for bald guy as he's on the back of the Williams. Pulls to the left-hand side. Henchman able to fight it back a little bit, but it looks like bald guy is going to get ahead, and he is ahead. And bald guy now moves up into P3.
Yeah, very good racing there. And James B gets the fastest lap.
Whoa.
By only a 10. So yeah, there goes the tie. So it's a 1-point advantage. So yeah. Come on, bald guy.
Yeah,
get fastest lap. Do it. Or someone else, do it.
I know who you're rooting for then. Wow, okay.
Hey, I want bald guy. He's been like, he's been doing really well.
I mean, you can either have bald guy or James B. Like,
No, but still,
the
comeback from 16 points back.
I mean, true. Yeah, that would definitely be very cool to see. But we still have quite a few laps left, and bald guy, his current fastest lap is a 1:18.7. And he's got a long ways to go if he wants to grab that fastest lap. I presume that Slayer might be trying to grab that.
Yeah, he might be.
Once again.
He has no ERS.
Doesn't grab it this time around, but you never know. It could happen.
Well, James B.
No, he's already pulled a 7.3 seconds.
Yeah,
Slayer's just gone.
Yeah, James B's got the gap down to Daze to 10 seconds, so he needs 4 more seconds, and he's got P8, and that's confirmed P2. His slow and steady's really on the back of Butters here, and he's gonna go past.
Yeah, he is easily on the main straight. It's not even gonna be a challenge for the Mercedes, and Daze could possibly look a little interested. Not quite. He's not able to use the DRS to full effect, but he'll have to stay behind for P8 for the time being. Though he gets a really good exit out of turn 4, but just too far back.
Man, there's a little of action as Butters goes wide, and Daze is on the back looking for a move, and he takes a very wide line trying to get a good exit here, which he doesn't with the medium compound tires. And yeah, Slayer's still extending his advantage, and I don't think he can get fastest lap anymore. Doesn't have much ERS to use, and his tires are
Butters going a little bit wide there. That doesn't get a time penalty in doing so. Just going over to the chat real quick, and Phantom saying, "Dear P2, what a goat." I think you've got the wrong guy. This is Redeemer, not Deer as in Deer Hunter.
Yeah, and that's your teammate, so
yeah,
that's not very
I feel
nice.
like you should know your teammate at this point.
And also, why are you not racing, Phantom? You're in chat, so why are you not racing? Huh?
Hey, man, leave the man alone. He got his championship. He got what he wanted. Who cares? Meanwhile, further back, Daze getting past Butters before they even get to the DRS. Days does have the DRS, but he's going to easily pull away from the Mercedes. But now he's up into P7.
Yeah, and at the moment, James B could get like a P7, or he could honestly probably get like a P6 here. At the moment, with the rate that he's catching, and he does not have a penalty yet.
They'll have to wait and see, though. Slow and steady. He is looking pretty quick in this stage right now. He's closing on to the back on the unknown ahead. He could possibly be challenging for P5 sooner or later. It's whether he'll challenge for P4. It just doesn't look like there's many laps to do so. So he'll have to settle for P5 for the time being. But slow and steady, definitely trying to do the best he can for Red Bull. And the unknown, well, I just want to say, I believe the unknown, this is probably one of his, like, the first times he's been in the top 5.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know how many points he has.
he's getting a 3-second.
Ooh, yeah, that's 9 seconds now. So yeah, James B is almost in DRS. He's 9/10 off. So yeah, he's making the comeback with the interesting strategy there, making the pit stop.
I mean, somehow he's making it work. I mean, obviously he has the fastest lap, and well, he's definitely the fastest guy out on track, or at least one of the fastest. Who knows if Slayer's going faster or not? We don't know. But yeah, James B on the back of Butters already, and he can be easily challenging. Actually, no, Butters goes into the pits.
Yeah, I don't know. Is he going for fastest lap?
Quite possibly.
No, he's getting a wing change.
Oh, that might be why he was falling off the pace. Slow and steady got past the unknown, by the way. That is the battle for P5 done and dusted. And the Red Bull is now up into the top 5 once again. Though the unknown could possibly be challenging. He's having a little look. Could possibly go for a switchback. And he is going to go for the switchback, but doesn't get the traction. And is, well, just have to stay behind. One thing's for sure, though. Slayer's ahead of Redeemer by
10 seconds.
10.2.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
I was just gonna say, yes, I just want to point out, hats off to Slayer. He's driving a really good race here. He's really flying, and has the pace advantage over the whole field.
His improvement in the second half of the season has just been absolutely insane.
I think,
and he's showing it here tonight. And well, that'd be a great send-off to just be and just dominate this race ahead of the next driver for the final race before well, who knows where he'd be next season. He could possibly be up 1 tier or possibly up 2. You never know. We'll just have to find out as to when the next season will be. I don't know.
Skeppy said that after the season ends, the sign-ups will come out a week after. So anyone new in chat, join the Discord and sign up and race.
Now you're the one recruiting.
Yes.
I mean, the more the merrier, as they always say.
Unknown is out.
Oh no! I mean, well, it is no, but it's also.
He will get points though, because he completed.
Yeah, he still get points. He made the 90%, but it's not the points he would have wanted.
Yeah.
As now, 8 drivers left in this race.
Oh dear.
And one of those 8 drivers is possibly going for a move on days ahead. And James B is just not able to make the move just yet, though he definitely does have the pace in relation to the Alpine. But it's just not going to be enough. We're on the final lap already of this race. And, well, what a dominant display it has been for Slayer.
James B gets up to P6. Oh, and he spins!
Oh!
Okay.
Not sure what's happened there. I don't think they made contact, but James B
spinning on a curve, yeah.
Yeah, quite possibly, but he'll still grab that position due to the fact that Days has 9 seconds worth of penalties. As of right now, everyone will easily get 4 points or more, though they just want to grab the maximum amount of points. So one thing's for sure is that the battle between Redeemer and Ball Guy, sure they're 6 seconds apart, but Redeemer has 6 seconds worth of penalties.
Yeah, and Ball
Guy's within the cusp.
Not quite. He needs to pick up the pace here for the second half of this last lap if he wants to get P2 here. Yeah, he's 2/10 off. He's really got to push to get that, because obviously he wants to get as close as possible to P2 in the standings, which he won't quite clinch, but it'll be close. And he's closing the gap down, but
we'll just have to find out. But one thing's for sure, one person that hasn't been closed on by anyone is this man, Slayer. He's shown his hand at the second half of the season, and he's gonna
stopped. He's doing
Stop.
a burnout across the line.
Doing a burnout, Max Verstappen in Austria spins across the line, but he wins the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix in a dominant display. Redeemer will come across the line for a P2. Does Bald Guy, though? It doesn't look like he's going to have enough to come out and on P2. No, he doesn't. So Redeemer grabs another podium. Bald Guy will grab P3. Henchman grabs the top 4 finish. So well done to the Williams. As I believe
Is that his best
that
finish?
is his... I was just about to check that.
He's got P4
He
in
equals
China
his best finish.
and in Spa. Yeah.
Yeah, he equals his best finish. Slow and steady. A top 5 for the Red Bull. James B grabs P6. Days, though, he grabs his best ever finish in Breakout Racing League with P7. And he'll be delighted about that. Butters will have to settle. Oh, he spins across the final corner.
Oh!
He went airborne.
And he didn't even make the line.
He went airborne, hit the wall with his rear wing, but he'll come across the line to finish in P8. What a season finale it's been, and what a race it has been for Tier 4 for the final race. And wow, what a season it's been.
Yeah, it's been a very crazy one, and yeah, that the penalty count, the total penalties is definitely going to go up again.
Yeah, definitely. But one person that may have had a penalty, but was just merely untouchable. Slayer grabs the win here in Imola. Redeemer grabs another podium, I believe his 3rd podium of the season. And what a way to cap off Alfa Romeo's season after winning the Constructors. Bald Guy will finish in P3. He won't be able to grab P2 in the drivers, but it is still a great season for the man the only man that did every single race.
Good job, Bald Guy.
You get a round of applause there from Mumu himself. There you go.
Good job, Bald
So
Guy.
I shall now invite the drivers for their podium interview. But Slayer dominates here in Imola ahead of Redeemer. Bald Guy P3 ahead of Henchman. Slow and steady finishes P5 ahead of James B. And James B gets the fastest lap. Days grabs P7, his best ever finish here in Breakout Racing League. Butters finishes P8. The unknown, despite DNFing, he'll grab 9th. We lost Valkyrie, Sprightly, KB21, Frizy, Johan Laura, Carbon, Fathercorn, and Fluky from this race. And what a race it was.
Yeah, that was a pretty hectic race, but the man that started first had just dominated the entire race, and he stayed in P1, and with all those safety cars, he kept his cool and stayed in P1.
Yeah, he was, to put it simply, untouchable this race.
As we have seen from him in the second half of the season, he's been arguably probably the quickest on track for most of the season. Not most of the season, the second half.
Yeah, he definitely has been one of the fastest drivers here in Breakout Racing League. But we shall now move on to the last podium interview here in Tier 4. It feels very, very weird saying that. But it's here. We've finally made it. And we now shall go on and Mumu take it away for Bald Guy with P3.
Well, Bald Guy, that was a pretty crazy race, but you got another podium or second in a row. You didn't quite clinch P2. I think you missed by about 5 or 6 points. So tell me about your race.
I'm over here boo-hooing because of that now. It was a interesting race. I had no idea.
This is why you're a
across
sore
the
loser,
line.
because you always boo-hoo everyone because it's your fault.
Damn, shots fired.
Don't even make me go to the tape on the turn 1 incident that caused me to spin and go back to the back.
That wasn't even my fault, bro. I was ahead of you.
I
Out of
didn't say it was you. Can you guys mute
Shots
him?
fired today. Okay, I see how it is. Things getting heated.
You guys
already.
You guys need to mute Deemer so I can actually talk.
Just ignore him. Just go.
Nah, I mean, honestly, as far as the race goes, it was fun. I had no idea there was only 8 drivers left until we crossed the line. I was like, holy cow! But I mean, whoever takes out the pit sign needs to be tarred and feathered and maybe even shot.
Damn.
So why people decide to do that is beyond me. It's infuriating, and so I had to go back and pit to get rid of the 5 seconds, caused me to be back again. So it was like a yo-yo is what this race was like. Back, front, back, front, back, front. But hats off to everyone, and y'all have done a fantastic job. And Deemer, I don't know where you got all that burst of energy the last 2 laps, but nice job keeping it in front of the 6 seconds.
Well, also something that's been you're the only person in Tier 4 that's done that this season is starting every single race.
Actually, Valkyrie has. He was my honorable mention as far as starting every
Oh, he
single
did?
race. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, he did. You're right.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
Then we had a very long list of people who had only missed 1 race. Phantom, Slow and Steady, Frizy. I had my list, but I don't have it here. So
Yeah,
very,
I was one
very
those
proud
guys.
of the tier. Deemer, yes, very
4.
proud of the tier for the attendance this year.
Yeah.
And for the banter. The banter in the chat was 99% friendly. It was fun. We had a great time. Hats off to everybody for another great season.
It was for sure a good season. And yeah, Tier 4 has the highest attendance other than realistic at 17.8.
That's impressive considering Realistic has, what, 60 drivers?
Yeah, pretty much.
Something like that. Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Usually I'd have a question at the end, but to be honest, I can't really think of anything. So I guess yeah, I don't really have much, but congratulations on another podium.
That's your 8th
Thank
one.
you, guys.
Well,
Thank you for a great season of announcing. Y'all have done a fantastic job, and we appreciate it. I know everybody enjoys watching it back, so our hats are off to you. I know you enjoy doing it, but we enjoyed listening to it, so thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely something I enjoy doing, that's for sure. But once again, congratulations on another podium, and, well, what a great season it has been for you. We now move on, though, to P2, that being Redeemer. Mumu, take it away.
Well, Redeemer, you had the 6 seconds penalties, but you managed to hold off Bald Guy by like 0.3 of a second, so good job on that. And that's like your 3rd podium, I believe. So, what happened in your race?
Yeah, I mean, it was like Bald Guy said, it was up and down. I thought was a great start, and then the second phase, I just got swallowed up. I'm just like, this is not okay. Regardless, get a podium at the end of the race. It's just amazing. Honestly, I gotta dedicate this to Butters, though. He's raced really hard, didn't get a podium this season, no fault of his own or anything, but we went into the chicane, and I was behind unknown. I broke early, and Butters just broke a split second late and got wing damage. And he just started falling back, and I said, no, Butters, if I get a podium, I'm going to dedicate it to you. So this one's for him. Also, a big shout-out to Phantom for, being teammates and carrying me through the season. And, obviously Bois for engineering for me and for the team. And everyone else in the tier, especially Bald Guy for coordinating, and then Avi being the host of every race, really, I feel like I've improved from starting on a wheel, which Minico actually mentioned in Brazil, and then, to where I've come now. There's a big difference from then until now, so I'm really excited to see what I can do going forward.
Yeah, you've made
Yeah,
huge
we'll just have
improvements.
to wait for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Maybe a month.
You've come a long way on the wheel, Deemer. Very good. Very impressed.
Man, it just goes to show you, practice is everything. And once you get used to it, you're like, this is actually enjoyable. And then you keep doing it, and then you actually start to have fun. So,
Yeah, it definitely is how it is. Practice makes perfect, as they always say, and you definitely have improved through the latter stages of this season, which obviously helped Alfa Romeo grab the constructors, that's for sure. But, once again, I don't really have any questions, so needless to say, congratulations to you on another podium, your 3rd podium of the season. May not have been the best seasons for you, but I mean, you still managed to be there for Alfa Romeo when they needed you the most. And,
yeah,
well,
also, Zach,
selling it off at the podium.
before we go any further, Zach, can we get a spin counter finale? Because it's the end of the season.
Zach's not here. It's Mumu.
Yeah, that's not Zach.
Domenico.
No, but I'm saying in streams, that way it's here. Just for future reference when he watches it back.
My
Fair enough.
over and under
I'm
on
not gonna
52.
lie.
You're so naive.
Naive. That's
I'm
a smart
not-
bet. My buddy's on over.
I tell you what, if it is
I'm not
exactly
gonna-
52, I will PayPal you $3.
$3, wow.
It was most likely less than that, but I'm being
Should
perfectly
be
honest.
$1.
Just stop counting.
They're like the second half of the season that could just kind of died off. So I kind of stopped doing that. But it's probably somewhere in the 20s at least.
Well, Deemer-
like something like that. I don't know.
Your 12th race halfway through the season was your first podium, and from that on, you scored points in every single race except for 3.
Yeah, we won't talk about those 3 races though.
And then the first half of the
I
season,
remember
you
one of those
scored
races. It was kind of funny.
points 3 times, and you got
Shut up,
6
Nico.
points.
Yeah, like I said,
Hey man.
the first points race I had, I think it was Monaco.
Yeah, you got P10.
So the funny story with Monaco, and I know Slayer's patiently waiting for his interview. Q2 confirmed. I started on the wheel, and then as soon as we hit the formation lap, my wheel just started acting up. And I said, I'm not racing with an acted up wheel, so I literally went to my controller. And I did 37 laps on my controller, and I'm like, I am never doing this again.
Well, I mean, you still managed to grab a point out of it, so I mean, nonetheless, it's still well deserved. But once again, congratulations on another podium, and he's been waiting for a long time, so let's not have him wait any longer. Slayer, once again, through the second half of the season, you have proved what you're made of, and well, what other way to do it than to dominate here in Imola by well over 12 seconds before you stopped to cross the line. Just tell us how, well, I mean, I think we all know how your race went, but just tell us how you felt and, well, how you really got here. Hello?
Slayer.
Not sure if you're here, or Slayer, or not.
I think he died.
Thinking Mike might be muted? Question mark. I don't know. He's in the party. I'm not sure what the situation is, so I'll just simply. Well, I mean, I don't really have to simply break it down. I'll just break it down as simply as it is.
You just
I think his mic died. Right there he is.
Oh,
Slayer.
we heard something. I think his mic might be gone. That's really unfortunate for that to happen. But I'll simply break it down what happened. To put it simply, you dominated the entire race. You were never outside the top 3 this entire race, I believe. And well, you were clearly the fastest consistently. Never made a single mistake. And well, that helped you grab that win, I believe, if I'm counting correctly, if I know where you are. That's your 5th win of the season. And crucially, you grab P4 in the Drivers' Championship. So well done to you. From Tier 4, though, that is going to be everything. Be sure to tune in tomorrow, though, for Tier 1 and Tier 2 as they wrap up their season here in Imola. And normally, it would be next week we would have another race, but the season's done. It's over. It's completely finished. As we'll have to wait for a few weeks to start up Season 8. It'll be a little bit shorter, but nonetheless, it'll still be full of action, up and down, no matter where you go. So be sure to tune in next time when Season 8 goes live. But for Mumu and I, that is going to be everything. Good day, and good night, and thank you for joining us here for these 24 races.